Ambition, purpose, partnership, and action. Words that have always defined our nation. Driven by a clear vision, we have seen our economy flourish. Dubai has become a beacon for business and events, a place that prioritizes people and connections, and a home for talent and innovation. Today, as our nation continues to thrive and people and businesses steadily move south, we are already here to welcome them at the new center of Dubai's future. Next to what will be the world's largest airport, a global shipping gateway, a state-of-the-art exhibition center, and Expo City Dubai, home of Expo 2020 and COP28. Guided by the Dubai Economic Agenda, this new center of Dubai will be the catalyst for accelerated innovation, meaningful collaboration, and a more sustainable way of living. Our story so far is remarkable, but as we prepare for the next exciting chapter, we know that our future will be even brighter.
Greetings and hayakum from the city of Dubai. To those joining us from cities all around the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Nadia Bergi, and I'm Executive Director here at Expo City Dubai. Welcome to the third of our live webinar series for the 2025 Asia Pacific City Summit and Mayors Forum, which will take place at the Expo City Dubai on the 27th to the 29th of October in partnership with Brisbane City Council. This is not just a forum, it's a platform designed to drive outcomes for cities seeking solutions, for businesses seeking access, and for all of us committed to shaping urban growth that is not only profitable but purposeful too. We're preparing for this global gathering of mayors and city leaders by moving forward in the same spirit of exchange, action, and impact as that which powered our hosting of Expo 2020 Dubai and COP28 Climate Conference. In October, we will welcome city, business, trade, and investment leaders from all over the world. We'll spotlight urban markets that are not only expanding rapidly, but where the scale of investment and the urgency for collaboration has never been higher. We'll showcase procurement and innovation opportunities, where infrastructure, digitalization, housing, and climate resilience is no longer optional, it's overdue. 2025 APCS connects the decision makers setting the agenda for the future of cities worldwide with the deal makers that can turn that vision into reality. As the first edition of this prestigious event to take place in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, the 2025 APCS is moving to the epicenter of global urban growth. With 9 of the top 10 mega cities of the future predicted to be in developing countries, primarily in Asia and Africa, we're at the nexus of conversation and action around urban planning, infrastructure development, innovation in sustainable city building, and unlocking high-value trade networks and economic opportunities. Our knowledge partners at the very forefront of this exchange, and they are bringing the worldwide expertise to our extensive program. We are delighted to announce that the Milken Institute will be joining us as a facilitator for the prestigious Mayors Forum, a non-profit, non-partisan think tank focused on accelerating measurable global progress in the areas of health, finance, and philanthropy. Milken takes its place alongside the Arab Urban Development Institute, AUDI, as the facilitators of our flagship forum for mayors and for city leaders. Also joining our previous announced knowledge partners, we are pleased to confirm new partnerships with Eurocities, who we'll be speaking to a little later today, the Centre for Livable Cities, the World Smart Sustainable Cities Organization, or WeGo, contributing case studies on digital transformation and urban intelligence through their member cities. The World Bank, co-curating a deep dive session on subnational finance. And Terra, the Sustainability Pavilion, which will bring programming as well as a unique back-of-house tour for delegates. Our commercial partners, meanwhile, are not just supporting this journey, they are shaping it, helping cities realize their full potential as engines of economic growth. Emicool pioneers in transforming existing infrastructure through cutting-edge retrofitting solutions that boost energy efficiency and resilience. Dubai Chambers at the very center of Dubai's commercial offering, connecting local businesses to global opportunity through a far-reaching worldwide network. Gratia Advisory, trusted advisors to government, businesses, and institutions across the global south, helping bridge ambition with implementation on issues that matter most. And Future OS, born here at Expo City, shaped by innovation legacies of Expo 2020 Dubai and COP28, revolutionizing how cities are managed and harnessing AI to create smarter, faster, more responsive urban systems. The scale and delivery of our partners, public and private, local and global, underscores a core principle that shaping the cities of tomorrow requires a coalition of interests and capabilities. It's not just about financing and policy, but creativity, inclusion, and implementation too. Our partners aren't just supporting APCS, they're shaping the solutions that cities will carry home. Because what happens in Dubai this October won't stay in Dubai, but rather resonate across boardrooms, city councils, and communities worldwide. This city has become one of the world's most dynamic urban laboratories, a testbed for livability, inclusion, and growth. And Expo City Dubai, our host venue, is itself a product of that vision, a nature-positive, innovative-driven district that is as much about well-being and community as it is about infrastructure and investment. I'm privileged and delighted to announce that joining us on this journey to our Global Mayoral Summit is the Government of Dubai in the shape of the Executive Council of Dubai. And to reflect more on the government-wide partnership that's powering the summit, I'm delighted to welcome my colleague Najib Al Ali, Executive Director at Expo City Dubai Authority. Najib.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Nadia. Good morning from Dubai and good morning from Expo City Dubai. It is a great pleasure to address you here from our city, the city where we think and we will not only think, we will hope to see you all be here and for us to actually meet you face to face. But for today, we have something great to go through. It is my great pleasure to be joined here by Hamda Mohammed bin Chalban, the Assistant Secretary General of the Dubai Executive Council. Good morning, Hamda.
Good morning, Najib.
It is great to see you, Hamda, and I miss the old days that we were together in the Emirates Towers in the Executive Council, and hoping to see you also here, not only in the event, but in regular basis in Expo City Dubai. But if you allow me, I'll go straight away into the first question, Hamda, unless you want to say something before I start.
Please go ahead.
Hamda, by 2040, Dubai will welcome close to 1 million people into the city every single day. The residential population is forecasted to increase by almost 75% within the next 2 decades, reaching to 5.8 million by 2040. What underlines Dubai's drive for growth? What shapes the city's priorities looking into the future?
For a city like Dubai, growth is inevitable. It is in our DNA. Since our very founding, Dubai has served as a bridge between cultures, cities, and continents. People from 200 nationalities call this city home. People from around the world look to Dubai as a top-ranked center for businesses and innovation, an ever-exciting global tourism hub. Between January and March this year alone, a record 5.3 million people visited the city of Dubai. So the city continues to grow, but it's not enough to grow. We believe in growing with purpose. And for us, ensuring that this global center of gravity continues to propel people and nature, that our systems continue to improve quality of living, mobility, housing, public space, tourism, culture, and that our infrastructure is not only resilient and future-ready, but also inclusive and regenerative. So our approach is to grow and evolve. It is now much more about integrating traditional objectives of expansion and economic prosperity into a more holistic definition of value. This is our intention in a nutshell, ensuring that our growth is proactive, responsive, and nature positive, anchoring our urban innovations in the lived experience of everyone who calls Dubai home, and putting an absolute premium on the quality of life of residents and visitors.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hamda. What is clear, I think, is that long-term purpose-led planning is absolutely essential and that it needs to be followed by timely and effective execution. What can you tell us about Dubai's strategic plan 2033 and its sectoral agenda, and what role does Expo City Dubai play in this journey?
Dubai has been known to adopt a long-term strategic planning approach since the first plan launched in the early 2000s. Our current plan reflects a cohesive vision of Dubai's approach to urban transformation, doubling the size of the economy, enhancing global attractiveness, and designing a city where people, business, and nature thrive in harmony, as well as fostering and nurturing families in Dubai. The new Dubai Plan D33 and its both economic and social agendas are also positioned Expo City Dubai as a key driver for Dubai's future growth. Everyone remembers Expo City Dubai for the largest world expo in history, that was Expo 2020. Expo City was also the stage for COP28 in Dubai. Expo City is more than a legacy site. It is the new urban expansion of the Emirate, designated by our leadership as the place where ideas, industries, and innovation converge, anchored in greener, smarter, and more sustainable standards for urban life. Expo City serves a new model for sustainable urban living, powered by clean energy, designed to integrate intelligent mobility solutions, innovative cooling techniques, and inclusive public spaces. It is also a microcosm of Dubai we're building now and for the future, a home for residents from every part of the world, a hub for businesses pursuing innovation, a destination for visitors looking for cultural, immersive, globally connected experiences. Most importantly, Expo City echoes our outreach to the world to learn from each other and build together an urban future that addresses our human and planetary priorities. Dubai has always been powered by exchange between people, places, and between possibilities. This is what Expo Dubai was built to enable, purpose-driven collaboration on a global scale.
When we talk about driving global collaboration, it is natural that Dubai will host the first Asia-Pacific Cities and Mayors Forum to take place here in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia region. Joining us for this webinar today are mayors, city leaders, business executives, and young professionals from every part of the world. What should they look forward to when they convene here in Dubai for this global summit? And what will the Dubai government bring to the event?
We're honored to host one of the most diverse convenings of mayors and city leaders worldwide. Dubai is just 4 hours from 1/3 of the world's population and 8 hours from 2/3. Geography is on your side when you come to Dubai. But what matters even more is the connectivity you will find here. A global launchpad for trade, talent, and transformative ideas. We're also very excited to be playing a deeper role in the 2025 APCS program. We look forward to offering city leaders from all over the world first-hand insights into Dubai's story of resilience, growth, and ambition, expanding in details and through hands-on examples. As the government of Dubai, we will be represented by entities across sectors, such as economic development, infrastructure and transportation, urban planning and environment, education and knowledge, culture and community development, security and safety, and digital transformation. You will also be able to visit these entities through technical field trips to see how we've optimized our hospitality, safety, well-being, opportunity, sustainability, and overall quality of life. We're also building an exhibition for the summit that will serve as a window into our city ecosystem, reflecting on our growth over the decades and showcasing how we are integrating in all areas of urban living to shape tomorrow's growth. This exhibition will be the first time we have told the Dubai story in this way, a story of how all our various departments, agencies, and initiatives work together to deliver a seamless experience for visitors, residents, and businesses. We'll share just as much about our approach to ensuring world-class public services. For example, we'll take you through the journey of the Dubai metro system, how we've built it as a backbone of sustainable urban mobility, and how we continue to expand and evolve to meet the needs of a growing, connected city. Ultimately, through our exhibition, our contribution to the program, and our championing of 2025 APCS, what we hope to offer is a living example of what's possible, what a city can strive for and achieve in its own, and above all, the extraordinary progress we can unlock when we come together, city to city, people to people, businesses to businesses, across borders, disciplines, and across ambitions to shape how we live and what we leave behind.
Hamda, thank you so much. And while I'm afraid I'll have to wrap it up there, we're so looking forward to working with you and the entire Dubai government ecosystem to create something extraordinary and first of its kind for APCS here in Dubai. So thank you. And now, Nadia, back to you.
Thank you, Najib. And of course, thank you to Hamda for your insights and for giving us just a taste of this hugely exciting partnership with the Dubai government. The true value of this collaboration is in the opportunity it presents to the hundreds of cities worldwide that will be represented at APCS in Dubai. It will enable real deals to be done between mayors and ministers, investors and innovators, visionaries and builders. And it's taking place here at Expo City Dubai, a gateway to the global south, a global convener, and a living example of how cities can embed purpose into every policy and project. And in our city and in other cities across the global south, growth is not theoretical. It's tangible and every day. And as Najib mentioned a few moments ago, Dubai's growth means that nearly 1 million people will visit the city every day by 2040. Dubai's residential population, meanwhile, is forecasted to increase by almost 75% within the next 2 decades. And in this context, the real currency of city development is not GDP alone, but rather the lived experience of people, the safety of a school run, the dignity of decent housing, the power of clean energy and reliable transport. And this is the deeper value that we must design for and invest in. Nowhere is this more timely or more urgent than in the fast-growing cities of Africa, where challenges and opportunities are emerging and evolving at an extraordinary pace as more than 3,000 people move to cities daily. So what does this mean for governments, planners and communities, for housing, infrastructure and services? To explore how Kenya and other major African cities are preparing themselves structurally, economically and socially to absorb this unprecedented growth, I'm delighted to welcome Nasra Nanda, CEO and ESG lead, Kenya Green Building Society, and a leading voice on urban equity, climate resilience, and sustainable development in Africa. Nasra, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much, Nadia. It's really exciting to join in on this very powerful conversation as we shape really the future of city-to-city collaboration, and what better place than Expo City to do it.
So Nasra, you are a powerhouse in this urgent question, and you're doing some incredible work on the ground and around the world. So just to kick off the conversation, given this astonishing rate of urbanization in our part of the world, can you give us a sense of how Kenyan cities and other cities in the region are preparing to absorb this growth?
Thank you. We are, I would say, at a defining moment for African cities. And from both a public policy and private sector lens, I would say I see cities like Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, for example, here, moving from ambition to action. Coming to Nairobi, we recently passed the Nairobi Climate Change Management Act, which essentially gives us the legal mandate to have green projects at a subnational level. And that's powerful because it means then cities as first responders can now lobby for projects that reflect their ecosystem needs. Similarly, Mombasa recently became Africa's first subnational government with a portfolio of IFC Edge green certified public buildings. All this to say that, in the global south, where markets are reactive and not proactive, often the private sector has been seen as the driver of a lot of change. However, we're seeing from a government perspective, it's the subnational level players who are really saying, actually, we can lead from the front. And I think in closing, I want to say, something in common that the UAE and Kenya have is, for example, the growing issues around, heat resilience. And Kisumu is one of the first subnational governments in the region to come up with a heat action plan. And what this tells me is that at a subnational capacity, what we're seeing is that cities are stepping forward to tell their stories about what's working, what the gaps are, and how we can truly build partnerships to support them. And I think what this summit can do for us is to give them that platform to tell their story in a way that can unlock the right support and collaboration.
I absolutely love that answer. And the examples of the cities of Mombasa, Nairobi, others are cities in action and leading from the front. It's not just about cities. Cities are made up of the people who drive them. And when you talk about subnational action, there are questions of all of the facility and the infrastructure you put in place to ensure intergenerational equity and social value, but also showcasing your human capital and new pathways for growth. So if we just sort of talk a little bit about that, how do you feel that this opportunity in Dubai with the Global Mayoral Forum through the Asia Pacific City Summit can really showcase those new pathways for growth?
Thank you. I think APCS gives us really an opportunity for what I'd like to call urban diplomacy. And this really is a platform where African cities, leaders can step forward to represent themselves. And aside from the leaders, as you correctly pointed out, we have, community champions who are really doing the work at the ground. And they can then help the world understand that both the opportunities and challenges they face can be solved, or at least, find avenues of collaborating so we can create better outcomes for us. And I think, speaking from a Kenyan perspective or an African perspective, we can really leverage this stage to showcase our human capital from the planners, engineers, business people, financiers, those who are really trying to drive solutions that can really take the market forward, whether it's in housing, mobility, infrastructure, or climate resilience. APCS is also about, in my view, laying the groundwork for real partnerships rooted in mutual respect that connect our cities. And what better place than South to South partnerships, because we are the ones who can understand the realities of the Global South better. And definitely, as an outcome, create those pathways to drive us forward.
Taking the very valuable insight and language around urban diplomacy, could you give us a little bit of color, maybe a little bit of detail to those cities that are listening across the Global South? What exact tangible opportunities are you hoping to curate for Kenya that could be extrapolated for other cities across the Global South that are also considering participating?
So I think what this platform can do is not only give us real leverage, but also responsibility. Leverage in the sense we can create a platform that enables us to highlight what our priorities are, which means then we are in the room highlighting our focus areas, which means that, partners can understand where the investment opportunities are or collaboration entry points are. For example, with Nairobi, we are actively seeking, green finance now. And one of the things that we've recently come up with, or we're working on, is a program called the GEF8 Sustainable Integrated Cities project. And essentially, we're saying that it is possible to have an integrated approach to now regenerate Nairobi by working with nature. However, we don't have all the answers. So we need the professionals, we need local partners, financiers, but also players like Expo City Dubai, who've learned through a lot of work in creating Expo as a success story. And so in that regard, it's a powerful platform to put that forward. But we also have the responsibility, and the responsibility means we need to make sure we come fully represented, not just with public sector players, but the financiers or the supporters of our ecosystems here in Africa, so that as we show up at Expo, it's the right people who can leverage not just the conversations, but the partnerships to drive that forward. And I think that's super powerful.
And Nasra, my big takeaway here is be in the room, because you are in all the rooms and you're shaping them. I'm afraid we're out of time. I wish we had more time together, but we're so grateful that Kenya Green Building Society is a valued knowledge partner for the APCS in Dubai. And the good news is that we get to work with you and the delegates from Kenya and across your constituencies in October. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you too.
So our team has travelled the world to explore and understand what matters to city leaders on all continents. And earlier this month, we were also in beautiful Braga in Portugal at the Eurocities Annual Forum and the Global Parliament of Mayors Summit. We had the privilege of meeting mayors from all around the world and priorities that really resonated with ours, from climate action to affordable housing and economic recovery and attractiveness. And the answer to all of this lies in city-to-city collaboration, discussing new pathways and opportunities for collaboration and representing our knowledge partner, the Eurocities Network. I am very pleased to welcome Andre, Secretary General of Eurocities. Andre, it's wonderful to see you again, and thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning, Nadia. It's good to see you again after we met 3 weeks ago in Braga at our annual conference.
It's really great. Thank you so much for joining and for being such a valued partner to this the collective journey that we're on. And to kick off the conversation, I just wanted to pose the question: what more can be done at the European level to strengthen cross-city collaboration, and how can platforms like Eurocities better elevate urban priorities into EU-wide policy and funding mechanisms?
Yeah, Eurocities is a network of large European cities. We have been created 40 years ago, and the idea was indeed a little bit like what you are doing in Dubai. It's about empowering cities. So we really work together to make sure that our members, so representatives from cities, both at the political level and at the administrative level, can get together to discuss about their challenges and to find common solutions, because we consider that cities are places, and we have shown already in the beginning of this meeting today that cities are concentrating a lot of challenges worldwide, and they are quite similar, I think. Climate change, competitiveness, social inclusion, housing, all these different challenges are concentrated in cities, but we also at Eurocities see that cities are the places where we can innovate and find the solutions to it. And it's because I think that at the local level in cities, we can clearly manage to bring together different stakeholders from the public sector, from the private sector, that actually find new ways and experiment new solutions to these key challenges. And so Eurocities really tries to build on this, and also, of course, tries to create some coalitions between the different cities. And for us, it's mainly at the European level, but we are very interested as well in enlarging our scope and also discussing with cities from the rest of the world in order to make sure that the national levels and the international levels also work closer with cities. At Eurocities, we often say we want to have a seat around the table when the huge decisions are made, because sometimes we have the feeling that decisions could be better if city leaders are involved and can share their experiences to say what works and what will not work. So what's the question about being more efficient?
So on that point specifically, how do you feel that a platform and an international collaboration like ours across regions, across cities, can really help facilitate that sense of innovation, creativity, and really driving outcomes?
Yeah, I think it's really a very important role that you can play, and this is why I'm also very excited in being a knowledge partner with our network for your global platform, because I think that if you look at cities are always very open. Cities are growing worldwide. More and more people live in cities, and most of our cities also in Europe continue to grow. And it means that people from the outside come in, bring in their ideas and so on. And I think these kind of platforms like the Asia Pacific Summit and the Mayors Forum that you host are an opportunity to accelerate this, because of course mayors, for example, they stay most of the time in their city and work with the local people, but they can also accelerate innovation by meeting other mayors and also people from other sectors in Dubai to see what solutions are developed there, how to adapt them to their own city. I don't believe that copy-paste is the right solution, because you have to anchor it into the culture of your own city, but still it's very important. And I think also many of the challenges that we meet in cities are very pressing, so we cannot afford to lose time. So coming to Dubai and seeing what other cities are doing, and indeed, again, building coalitions, maybe to make sure that climate neutrality remains a priority also at the international level, which can, I think, only come if cities are pushing also the national governments and the international organizations to do so, is something that we are looking forward to discuss in Dubai.
So in summary, what I'm hearing you saying, and we completely agree, is that cities are not shaped by competition, but really by collaboration, by listening, by learning, by sharing. And we really do appreciate and value tremendously the participation of Eurocities and all the cities that will be coming from Europe to the event. Andrea, I'm so sorry that we're running out of time, but I look forward to continuing this conversation. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's at like forums like this where collaboration gets real, where urban priorities become shared strategies, and where business, policy, and purpose align. So this is your opportunity to participate in the most important global conversation of our time: how to build cities that are not only engines of growth, but guardians of dignity, equity, and sustainability. Thank you to all of our guests for their valuable insights. Thank you to our audience for your valuable time, and we'll see you all for our next webinar on the 23rd of July. Thank you for your time and attention.